Welcome, everyone. This is Todd Morgan, CEO of RealEstateAcademy.net, America's premier online learning center for real estate investors. And I have got the treat of all treats today. I'm here with one of my good friends and one of my original mentors, Cameron Dunlap. Cameron, are you there?
I'm right here, Todd.
Awesome. We have gotten exciting information, Cam. I'm just so excited to have you here. And you've been actually a mentor of mine, and you're one of the people that I look up to as one of the very successful, most successful real estate investors that I actually know. And I want to thank you for taking some time and coming out here and sharing some information with everyone on the line.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I appreciate the opportunity to share some good solid knowledge of what's going on in the marketplace right now with your folks. I'm excited.
Awesome, guys. We're going to talk about flipping foreclosures with none of your own cash, guys. Cameron is one of the best in the business. And so before we get started, we have a few rituals here that we do. And the first one I want to do is, first of all, congratulate every single person that has made it to this call, to this webinar, because you are already in the upper echelon of people out there. Most people do not spend any time in continuing education. The statistics are appalling. Most people spend 0% of their time in continuing education. So I already know, and Cameron and I both already know, that you are the special people, the ones that are dedicated to learning, taking action, and forwarding your life, and making the money to change and further your financial future. So once again, congratulations for making it here. Okay. Secondly, before we get started here, we're not there to watch you, but we are excited to be sharing this information. Please put up the Do Not Disturb sign. Focus in on this information. Cameron is a master at flipping, buying, and selling foreclosures, flipping them, not using none of your own money. And so you're going to be in for a real treat today with one of the nation's leading investors. That's Mr. Cameron Dunlap. So before we get started, I wanted to give you a little more information about Cameron. He's been doing real estate investing full-time since 1993. Yes, folks, that's right, since 1993. He's been teaching his proven strategy since 1995. He's taught tens of thousands of people, and he's changed literally thousands and thousands of people's lives, including my own. And I want to thank you, Cameron, for everything you've done for me. Obviously, from the information that you've taught me, I've made millions and millions of dollars, and I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for me.
That's humbling. Thank you. I appreciate you mentioning it. You're welcome.
No problem. And he's always focused on foreclosures, and obviously you can expect that after this amount of time, he's perfected his craft. He's a family guy. He got into this business because he wanted to spend more time with his family. He has a great lifestyle. He's a father, and he spends a lot of time with his family. I'm sure he's going to talk about that. But the main thing that I love about Cameron is he's about changing people's lives, and he focuses on that every single day of his life. I'm so proud to present to you today Mr. Cameron Dunlap. So, Cameron, take it away.
Hey, thanks again, Todd. It's really an honor to be here, and for those of you that have joined us, I appreciate your time, and I will mention that I think you've chosen wisely in choosing Todd and RealEstateAcademy.net for learning more about how to make more money. That's what the whole point here is, for you to continually educate yourself. And there's an old saying that the day that you think you know it all is the day that the dying begins, because life is a learning process. And Todd did say one thing that I want to echo, and then we'll jump in. He mentioned that I'm all about changing people's lives, and it's really true. I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to do anything anymore, but I choose to continue doing the business every day because I absolutely love it. And I continue to teach the business because I absolutely love the idea of changing people's lives. In fact, years ago, I went to a seminar taught by a guy named Zig Ziglar, and he said, if you help other people get what they want out of their lives, you'll have everything in the world you ever desired. I have for many years now, and I do have everything I want, and it's really true. When you help other people, your life is enriched by that, and there's no real great way to explain it. It just is what it is. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to cover here during this short time I have with you. We're going to talk about how to buy and sell foreclosure properties without money, without credit, without repairs, without tenants, without any of the usual hassles. We're going to do what's easy and fast. You'll learn how to get access to my unlimited proof of funds letters available without waiting 24/7. Those are verifiable proof of funds letters that I provide for my clients. And proof of funds is a requirement in this marketplace. We're going to talk about how you'll have access to low-cost transactional or flip funding that I provide using my money. We do it in-house, and we are funding a ton of deals, making a lot of people a lot of money, and I want to fund your deals. That's why I'm here. We'll talk about how you'll systemize your business using my hands-off virtual investing tool. It's called iFlip. iFlip is the bomb. It will change your life. We'll cover how you'll get a detailed step-by-step home study program on audio CDs and a training manual because there's a lot more to the story than I have time to cover here. And we'll talk about how you'll get access to my secret REO vault. This is where you'll find thousands of REO deals at your fingertips, and it's updated every day. So you'll have a place to go and find deals easily. We'll talk about how to build a massive buyer's list using my bulletproof two-pronged approach. This is new, and it is working like gangbusters. And we'll talk about how you'll get personal support from me, not someone that I delegated to, but from me personally. All right, and then quickly I want to introduce you to my wife and daughter. I don't ever do a presentation without giving these two girls the credit that they deserve. They're the reason I am who I am and do what I do. And without those two girls, I know I wouldn't be here right now. In particular, my wife gets credit for agreeing to marry me in 1993 because I had just quit my job and, frankly, needed to live on her income. I'll never forget that. When I proposed to her, I kind of gave her a full disclosure proposal. I said, will you marry me? But hold on now. I need you to understand something. I did just quit my job, and I'm going into real estate full-time. And until I get my legs under me, I need you to support me. Okay, now answer. Well, she went for it, and I got to give her credit. She's a brave lady, but today lives the American dream in so many ways. And my daughter, thanks to her, I get to see the world through her little eyes, and I am constantly reminded of how incredibly cool and awesome everything is. And you know what? That's a good thing. Because as we age, we get kind of bored and calloused. And the old saying, you got to slow down, stop, smell the roses. Well, when you have a little person in your world, a child or a grandchild, they force you to slow down and smell the roses because they're not bored, they're not calloused. Everything to them is cool and awesome. And so I got to give her credit for that. And I know there's at least one person on the line right now saying, yeah, you wait, buddy. You wait till she's 16 and we'll see what you think. Well, I'm in denial. I refuse to even contemplate that because she's a little angel, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I guess we'll see. But anyway, 1993, I quit my corporate job, and I went into real estate full-time. And I lived in Connecticut where I grew up. I met my wife in Connecticut, and we got married and moved immediately, literally, moved right after our honeymoon to South Florida. I had family down there. I wanted to change the scenery, and so we moved down to South Florida in 93, and then in 2001, we moved to upstate New York in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York where I live now, and for a lot of reasons. But, it's not unusual for someone to ask me, they'll say, wait, whoa. You moved from South Florida to upstate New York? Isn't that the wrong direction? What kind of an idiot does that? And, my response to that is always the same. I say, look, a good man is only as happy as his wife, bottom line. And so, yeah, I admit it. I subscribe to Whipped magazine because I'm whipped. And, flipping back real quick to the picture of of me and with my wife and daughter, it should be obvious to you that I married up. Anyway, I do subscribe to Whipped magazine. That's the magazine for men who don't make the decisions. Yeah, you can be your own boss when she's not around. Coping with the loss of your friends and the introduction of hers, dealing with the absence of sex, 10 new ways to sleep on the couch, how to avoid confrontation and keep her happy without getting yelled at, plus tips on lying and how to get out of her family events. Any other subscribers? How about you, Todd? Are you a subscriber to Whipped magazine?
Hey, I've learned a long time ago. You got to give up being right and let her be right. So
yeah, well, it's a balancing act, right? And I have a great friend who says you can be right or you can be happy. Pick one.
Right. Agreed.
All right, so here's the deal, guys. In this market that we face right now, if you follow my lead, when you on board and follow my lead, you will make more money. I'm going to talk to you about what used to work. I'm not going to try to, push some old timed out strategy. I'm not here to sell you old wine in new bottles. What I am here to do is share with you exactly what is happening in this market right now. And when you follow my lead, you'll make more money. The very best deals out there are foreclosures. There's no doubt about it. We are in the midst of a foreclosure bonanza. This is a lifetime opportunity, and to watch it go by would be a lifetime mistake. In fact, your heirs will resent you for it. The fact is, now, not a week or a month or a year from now, but right this minute is the best time ever to get in this business. Get in it now. If you're not already, get in it now. And within a very short period of time, you'll not only change your life, but you will also change the lives of your heirs, because the opportunity is that great. Everywhere I go, everywhere I fund deals, I hear the same over the top. The opportunity is out of control, so good, it is beyond belief. And, you know, you can tell the guys who teach real estate and sell programs, you can tell the ones that are really doing deals and really out there in the business like I am, because you don't hear a whole lot from them. They're too busy. They're too busy doing deals, and that's me. I've got literally 5 deals right now on my desk. 2 houses, one under contract to purchase, one under contract to sell, and 3 houses, and 2 mini storage facilities. What I do in this market, in case you're wondering, is I flip residential and I hold commercial. Now, commercial is another animal. I'm not here to talk to you about that. What I'm here to talk to you about is flipping property so that you can put instant cash flow in your pocket. Holding commercial is a long-term strategy that doesn't pay the bills that are on your desk today. Flipping properties does pay the bills, does create great income, and puts you in a position to where you can look at and begin to delve into commercial. So the best deals right now are flipping foreclosures. There's no doubt that's where the big piles of cash are going to come rolling into your world. Piles of cash, big checks, just like this. This one, you'll notice if you look at the screen here, I'll hit it with my little cursor. They spelled my name wrong. My name is spelled D-U-N-L-A-P. They spelled my name wrong, and it's still cashed. Here's one for $35,000. You know, another day, just a typical check in my world. Here's one for $40,000. You know, these are the types of checks that are coming across my desk on a regular basis. Here's one for $54,000. You know, here's one for $6,000. This one's not so exciting, but it sure beats a sharp stick in the eye. Here's one for $24,000. Just another typical deal. Here's one for $55,000. That particular check I'm going to use as a case study, by the way, when we in just a few minutes. All right. So what type of houses are the best ones to focus on in this market? Simple, entry-level homes, the ones that sell to first-time home buyers. So there's entry-level homes, there's move-up homes, there's luxury homes. The entry-level homes are where it's at right now, guys. That is where to stay focused. I'll make a strong case for why in just a minute. Now, here is an example of an entry-level home. What do you think of that one, Todd? How does that look to you? You know, I was always impressed by the central air conditioning system right here and the twin cobalt blue Sub-Zero refrigerators over here. Isn't that place awesome? Yeah, honestly, I think it was an oil can before somebody moved in. But seriously.
Nice vacation home, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, nice and metallic. Anyway, here's an example of your basic entry-level home. And by the way, that house is everywhere in the United States. And you'll not hear me talk about price, because I'm sure there are people on here with us now that are from California where that house costs $350,000. And then there are people with us here now from upstate New York where that house costs $90,000 and everything in between. The point is, if you focus on entry-level homes and